Hello everybody, I am back and I bring you a rare model. It's the Nissan Skyline GTR, back from the 1990s and early 2000s by Motormax. So this of course is a 118 and I'm deciding to show it now because I dawned on me that I haven't actually shown it before. And it's actually a pretty cool budget model and it's pretty good throughout the vehicle. Definitely worth considering if you can find it. That being said, it is rather rare. If you're looking for a car like this, and I imagine that you will be after this review, it's probably restricted to eBay or other bidding sites. Definitely not being sold for retail anymore. If it is, you'll find it in two colors. Came in light blue, not light blue, yeah, just a regular kind of light-ish blue color, and this gray metallic. Both look pretty nice. This one especially looks nice with the gray wheels, the kind of grayish, I don't know, grayish bronzish, little brown, I suppose. Alright, so this car, back when it was still available for retail, it cost around $25. I'm sure it's more expensive now. You might want to check that out. So, Motormax back in the day wasn't exactly known for their high quality vehicles. And not that this is the best quality model that I've seen. It's pretty good as far as a Motormax goes. And the first thing you notice is that the paint job throughout the car is actually pretty darn good. I mean, it's very smooth. There's no weird bumps or scratches on it whatsoever, or maybe it's just the color that hides it. The metalwork, on the other hand, was never a Motormax strong suit. You can see when we close this door, huge gaps along the door here. Common on the other side, big there. It's sometimes a little bit uneven here. This one actually doesn't look too bad, but it's not a very smooth transition from the trunk to the actual main frame of the body. Up front, see more of that, more of the gap right there. But it's not very noticeable, and especially if you're sitting and just enjoying it, it's not going to be at all of an issue. Now, back in the early Motormax days when this was made, they were built like tanks, and this is very heavy. It's got some good weight to it. And these are actually metal mirrors. When was the last time we saw metal mirrors on a model? Everything does open. And when you open up the hood, you can see that it has a pretty detailed engine under there. It does go all the way through. There's a little bit of a plastic mashup right in the center, but it's nicely colored. It has, you know, Skyline GTR written on it. And it generally looks pretty good. Twin turbo there. The stabilizer bar right in the center. Not a bad engine for a budget car. Now this does get a little bit weak, as you could see. I accidentally just slammed on the ground. I'll make sure I don't do that again, considering this isn't my model. And you also notice that with the doors here, you can see this door was probably opened a little bit more than the other ones, so it barely stays open anymore, and you'd probably need something just to prop it up. The trunk, that actually does stay open. Be careful of this, you know, it might break off. Windshield wiper, even has the defroster on the back. And decent windshield wipers in the front. Actually have some true design to it. Underneath, nicely detailed. Not sure how accurate the coloring is of the exhaust. It's kind of a gray, the same color as the transmission, but for all I know, I've never seen the bottom of the GTR, and it might be perfect. The drive shaft is black. It goes right back to the differential, which is also black. And this kind of cool gold color on the end of the exhaust. I believe that's catback, because it's in the back of the catalytic converter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty nice. See the stabilizer bar back there. Suspension. Not a bad underbody. Definitely not. So now, I believe I forgot to focus on the headlights. Nice headlights. No peg like we usually see. And it has a really nice design. Kind of looks like an actual halogen headlight that we would see. Oh, actually, you know what? Looking at it really closely... Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought I saw a peg, but apparently it's not. And we got that. That's an actual light in there. Grill doesn't go all the way through, but it definitely has depth, which makes it look really cool. Not bad at all. Nice wheels. The discs do turn with the wheel. The brake caliper stays in place. On the inside of the car, never a Motormax strong suit. You can see buttons are there, which is good, but there certainly isn't much coloring. Although we do have what appears to be a GPS. I'm not sure. So this must be kind of early 2000s, not the 1990s version. I don't believe they had GPS that was open in the late 90s. Nice seats. Very, very race inspired, that's for sure. But when this thing corners, it will rip your face off because it's got a ton of grip, so that doesn't necessarily surprise me. You want to stay in your seat, preferably. This is a manual transmission car. I believe they all were back then. GTR logo on the steering wheel. The wheels do steer. There is no suspension whatsoever. Forgivable. Yeah, not a totally impressive interior. It gets the job done, but not amazing. It does have a seatbelt, which is interesting. Alright, so that concludes the review of the Nissan Skyline GTR by Motormax. If you can find this thing, I highly suggest you get it because it won't be around for much longer, and this was truly a defining car of Nissan back in the 1990s and the early 2000s. It was referred to as Godzilla, as is, I'm sure you know, the current GTR. So this is being the predecessor of the current GTR. With it being so good, definitely a worthy car to get if you can find it. And if you still can't find the Motormax version, I'm sure the Auto Art one is available, and that most certainly is worth it if you're willing to pay the money, which is up for debate. Alright, so thanks for watching and hope this was helpful.